Hi everyone, welcome to Paper Pumpkin with Boo. You're probably wondering where Boo is. Well, it's a bummer, but this month she can't be with us. The good news is she's got 5 alternate projects with this month's kit, and as always, they're pretty fabulous. She is so busy getting ready for graduation, which is on April 29th. And for those of you that don't know, Boo is a film production major. Her film was chosen as one of 3 to be premiered at a special showing just before graduation. It is crazy around here with getting things ready. And as you know, as a graduating senior in college, there's capstone films and there's finals and all kinds of stuff that's going on. So she's spending a lot of time up on campus. And she said, Mom, I got the ideas. I'm going to throw it together. You're going to have to finish it, Mom. You can handle it. Well, I just want to make sure that you know I got this. And I'm still really happy to present her ideas to you. This month's Paper Pumpkin Kit, if you've received it already, includes a 3D project, which is a wreath. Now, Boo says that she knows most of her viewers like cards. So she wanted to take the kit and come up with some really fantastic ideas, and she's really done that. This month, though, you will have received a special little flyer inside your kit. And this is a thank you from Stampin' Up! With a additional stamp set. Yep, you got a brand new stamp set in addition to the one you got in the kit. It's valued at $17 and you are going to absolutely love it. Boo has done a great job of providing projects with both stamp sets in this kit as well as the kit contents. We want to thank you for being our subscribers, and if you're not, we'd like to ask you to join us. We offer also Paper Pumpkin Parade, and if you don't know what that is, it's a collection of 7 additional alternate project ideas that we send you by email every single month. It's just our way of saying thank you for joining us on the Paper Pumpkin journey. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to head over to the stamp table and I'm going to show you what she's got for you. All right, so she's left me a ton of cards to share with you, and she said, Mom, don't bore them, so just go over what you think they need to know. So I said, okay, I'm going to do that. This was the very first card she created. Now, inside the Paper Pumpkin Kit this month came this. They are actually already pre-cut for you, and on the back there is a strip of tear and tape, which is great. So she was like, oh, Mom, you know what those look like? Those look like cactuses. And I was like, okay, I guess they do. So all she did was take the paper snips and she cut off the pieces here at the stem. And for these, I'm going to come up a little bit closer so you can try to see. She took the black marker and she made little dash lines in them to look like the needles of the cactus. Now let's talk about this little flower. Inside the kit, you're going to get this crushed curry colored kind of tissue paper, and they're already die cut for the flowers that are for the wreath. What she did is she used the negative sides here to make these little flowers, and she told me that it didn't work with the punch by itself because this is too thin. So the little flower in the tree builder punch made that little flower. So what she did is she put the piece of scrap cardstock behind it. She turned this upside down, she said, and she slid it in there. And you know what? She's right. Look at that. Now, if you squeeze it, and it just went flying, but you can see that you get those little tiny flowers. So she created 4 of those. She said she crumbled them up just a little bit. She used the glue dot in the kit to attach them. And that same black marker, she put a small dot in the center. This is the daffodil marker and the always artichoke marker, just to color that in a little bit. But let me show you what she said she did to this background. I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock here. She took Soft Sky ink, squeezed the ink pad. That'll give you a little pool here of ink inside the lid. She then took the aqua painter. This is Whisper White cardstock, so it's not real resilient to water, so you don't want to go crazy. But she swirled this on here like so, and she kind of watered it down a little bit because she said she wanted to make sure it was going to go on really easy. And she simply just washed the background with ink. And she said, don't be particular about where it goes, just kind of slop it on, just to kind of give you a little bit of a sky background. So there you have it. She let it dry, and that's when she did the attachment of her cactuses, her flowers, whoops, and stamped the words. And you're going to make sure that's dry before you do all of that. But that's the first card. I think this is one of my favorites. Isn't it pretty? She actually used the cluster of the flowers that comes in the free stamp set. Now remember, this month's kit, not only did you get the kit stamps, but you also got this free $17 photopolymer stamp full of greetings and some images. So here's that dotted image, and all she did was just stamp them randomly to create a cluster to look like lilacs or hyacinth. The stem and the leaf are both in here. Pear pizzazz. She stamped off the little swish background. Look at that. And gave it a little bit of a background. I love what she did here. She actually stamped the words right over the top and then added a couple little pearls. I'm like, that's a lot of pearls. And she's like, no, they're small ones. It looks good, Mom. And of course, wink of Stella, because who doesn't love that? I did help her get the twine around there because she said she was frustrated it wasn't coming out right. So that's my only contribution this month. Here's your next card. Super cute, huh? You're not going to believe where she got this black strip. Let me show you. Inside the kit, you're going to get a perforated section of tags, and she cut off the edge and she put it here. So it looks like we've cut off an inch here on the front of the card. She attached that black strip. She used one of the tags from the kit, and of course the kit already includes the very vanilla craft ink. So she stamped the sentiment, and this is from the actual stamp set that's included with this month's kit. She used the flower from there and stamped it across the bottom, added some of that combo baker's twine that's in the Occasions catalog, and actually fussy cut one of these flowers. Hey, she did a pretty good job. And this is what she did with the rhinestones. She actually took a black Sharpie marker. Here's a couple that she left on here, and I'm going to use a big one so you can see really well. And she just swirled it on here and went around the edges so it turns your rhinestones black. Give it just a couple seconds to dry so that you can use your piercing tool to pick it up, or your scissors. And then she placed those inside her flowers and up here at the top. Isn't this adorable? I love the fold too. I think she did a great job on that one. Let's go to another. Okay, here's this one. This is actually just reminiscent of the actual wreath itself. You're going to see here how you've got those little trim pieces. She attached it on with just a little bit of glue dots. She folded up the same flowers, but I thought this was brilliant. Check this out. She used the fern image that's inside the stamp, stamped the leaves, cut them off like she did the cactuses. Here's another little one here I can show you. That's in my hand. And she actually used the glue dots in the kit to attach them like leaves on the card. This washi tape comes from It's My Party washi tape collection. So here's the bundle that comes with it. And she used the decorative label punch with the words. Now you're looking, where did she get that paper? Check it out. It's right from the die here. She stamped them and punched them out, and she had just a couple dimensionals. I think it's super cute. Now she used this punch again, and it's on the card I'm actually going to demonstrate for you today. And here's the card. Isn't this pretty? And it's just so simple. So let me show you how the stamping was done here at the bottom. This is 5.5 by 8.5 of Whisper White cardstock. She folded it in half. She was so funny as she was running out the door. She's like, Mom, you've got this. I know you've got this. I'm like, okay, I've got this. Blushing Bride ink. And we are actually using the additional free stamp set that's in the kit this month. So we're stamping up the large, inking up the large flower, stamping off so it's lighter. You're going to see how much lighter it is. And we're going to do the same thing again. And she said just to vary the designs across the bottom. I'm like, okay, I'm doing that. All right, so now we've got that. The smaller flower is also in the kit. So this one, full strength right over the top. So it's going to give you kind of that three-dimensional look. Isn't that pretty? She then used So Saffron ink to do the centers. She started, she said, with the clusters. And she stamped those in the middle. And I can tell by looking at her original that she wasn't real particular where they went. And then also in the kit, there's this like little sketched image. Isn't this kind of fun? So she said stamp off. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to stamp off so it's lighter. And I guess I'm just going to kind of fill in the center. I think it just tones down the white. Next are the leaves. Those were in Pear Pizzazz. Now she used the fern. Now I'm probably not going to get this near as nice as she did, but she was careful to stamp these around the outside. And I'm going to do one up here, and then some here. I think you get the idea, right? Now you're going to see they look kind of ferny. So she said, you're going to take that little leaf that's in the stamp set. And actually what you're going to do is actually stamp right over the original images. And she told me not to be worried about if they overlap because it's just going to be fine. And I'm like, okay. So I just kind of did that over all of them. And you can see it's pretty quick. That leaf is kind of large, so it covers up several of those little fern sections at once. Boy, this does turn out cute, doesn't it? I'm going to give her kudos for that one. I don't know. I'll tell you what. You give a craft project to a kid, and they come up with 10 times more things than you and I ever thought of. I don't know why that is. And I'm going kind of quick here because I don't want to bore you to death. But there you go. You get the idea. Isn't that pretty? Now, on a separate piece of paper, she took those exact same stamps back to the Blushing Bride, and she stamped off, and she stamped here, and then the darker one right over the top. Boy, if she'd be here, she would be like laughing at me. I've got a real mess going here. And then this in the center, and then stamp off on the little thing in the middle. Okay, that looks good. And then she said you're going to take the basic black ink, and I used Memento. And she's using the words from the kit stamp set that actually says Happy Mother's Day. Hey, you know what? She's not here. We're going to change it, right? And I'm going to use this one. This one says, to the loveliest person I know. Inking it up in my Memento ink. And then she said, just kind of stamp it off to the side, Mom. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm like, okay. And I'm going to press. So there we have that. Gosh, I really like the font in these stamps. These are beautiful. And then your decorative label punch. And I can already tell that this is not going to fit because I punched it too far down. So let me chop some of that off. And we're going to go inside here like so and punch that out. Then she took a piece of Pure Pizzazz cardstock. This measures a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4, and I've taught her this trick, so I can take kudos for this one. We made the banner tips with the hexagon punch, and if you've never seen this before, this is a great tip. This little point right here, slide your cardstock in, give it a gentle squeeze. Just make sure that little point is visually up the center right here, so you can make sure it's nice and even. And we're going to use a little bit of adhesive to mount this to the back of this. I'm trying to make it centered. And you're going to need a couple dimensionals. Those are not in this month's kit, but you probably have some left over from last month, right? And we're going to take off that paper backing. And then this is going to go right here on the front of the card. It is pretty, isn't it? So this was mine and this was hers. Now I'm going to tell you all these cards are on my blog. So head over there to check them all out because I know you're going to want to get a closer look at all her ideas. Now let's talk about May's Paper Pumpkin. We have decided to take Boo with us on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip to the Mediterranean, and we are actually going to go longer than what was anticipated. We are leaving 6 days earlier to enjoy Ireland and Spain for a couple days before we head up on the trip with the other demonstrators. So I'm going to give you a fair warning that the May Paper Pumpkin kit will be later than normal in a video. So hang with us. We will be back, and you're going to be thrilled to know that Boo is going to do that video for you. We are so excited about her upcoming graduation, and we're so grateful for our viewers. Don't forget about Paper Pumpkin Parade. We sure would love to have you on board as a subscriber. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your kit this month, and we'll see you next time.